Hey, Brandy. Hi, Georgina. So, yes, we're a little, well, I'm not early, but you guys might have been. So, I think I'm all set for my show on um, Saturday, but then I have a show, a 2-day show the following day where I have to have Celtic items. So I brought out a couple of my boxes that have my Celtic knot pieces in them. We have all kinds of things in here. Some of them pretty expensive, some of them not so expensive. I've got a lot of old Tierra cast pieces in here. That's what makes this box have more expensive items in it. But I was thinking we could start by making some various earrings or bracelets, maybe even a couple of pendants. We'll see what we decide. Hey, Cynthia. And so we're going to, you turned your chat off up here. We want that you on. Okay. So, hey, Chris. Hey, Tina. So we're going to turn down in a few, and I think we're going to work probably on some earrings, or maybe, like I said, even a bracelet or something. I've got all kinds of wonderful, fun things we can use for some Celtic items, including some marble from Ireland. Hi, Cindy. So we'll see how that goes. So let's turn down. Now, for those of you who are members, you will have noticed that your icon beside your name has changed. I put a few rose pictures in there. We have the rose bud for everybody up to 6 months. From 6 months on to 1 year, there's a Carolina, full-blown Carolina rose, and 1 year on, which I don't have any 1 years yet because I didn't start my membership until, excuse me, I think it was either December or January. So they'll get a big red rose when they get to that point. So yesterday, after we got off here, I made hair barrettes. 2 of these I did as a video, and it was Saturday's video for the public. Members have it already if they want to go see it. So we made this one and this one on that video. So these are extra large hair barrettes. I needed some extra barrettes for the show Saturday. And then I made another 2, which are not in a video, one with dragonflies and one with fairies. So if you're a member and you want to go watch me make these 2 extra large ones, you've seen it. You saw it last night, Georgina. Yeah, I posted it last night. So yes, that was possible that's the case. So I worked on those, and I believe those were the last things I was going to need for my my show this weekend that I hadn't already had, other than things I'm just pricing out because I had them around and I just needed to price them out. So, like I said, I have a big box with various Celtic knot pieces in it. We have a box full of boxes. Let's see, what do we got? These are little shamrocks. So are those. They're little tiny ones, though. These for me are, even though you could put them on earrings, if you're good, unless you're making a small earring, these are better as a dangle for a bracelet. They're just little shamrocks. How much do I take for a show? Ooh, a lot. I probably take, well, I take 2 full earring racks, and then I have extras if I sell stuff and I want to fill in holes. So, and my earring racks hold about 60 pair of earrings a piece. So I have 2 of those. Then I have, as far as my hair barrettes are concerned, out on the table I have 15 large, 4 extra large, 10 medium, 5 pair of alligator clips, and 5 each of small and extra small hair barrettes. Then I also put out 6 pair of hair sticks, 6 hair combs, and 6 pair of bobby pins. Then if I have any made, I'll put out some Barbie jewelry at this show, because there's always going to be a lot of kids at this show. And then I also have a table that has necklaces on it, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9 neck busts, each with at least 1 necklace. I like to layer them on my busts if I can. So sometimes the necklaces are generally 2 per bust, and a couple of times it's been 3. And then I do place some more down on the table. Then I also have a bracelet rack, which has got 4 bars that I usually have, anywhere from 6 to 8 bracelets per row. And then I put out key rings and fairy dust necklaces and bookmarks. So quite a bit. But, gives people a choice. So anyway, these guys are a little big for earrings, but they will work. They're not atrociously heavy, I don't think. But I love this particular piece. But now, with the little shamrocks that I already showed you, I also have other shamrocks, which are connectors. I also put out a rack of anklets. And so a lot of times this would make a really cute anklet if we decide to make an anklet out of it. But as I said, I put the price of everything on their box so that I know what I'm getting into. For instance, like this one. This one's a lot more expensive because these are little charms. Now, a lot of times if I use these, I'll paint them, because this is a thistle, and a thistle is, of course, purple at the top and green other places. So, but I have, like I said, I have all kinds of pretty various different Celtic knot pieces. So come out of there. These are like a little clawdaw. If you haven't noticed, I wear one for my wedding ring. These make a pretty earring. And maybe we'll just get a couple of those out to make some earrings for those. But so anyway, my show after, for not this coming weekend, but the weekend after, is a 2-day Celtic show. And they like us to have about a third to a quarter of our items to have a Celtic theme to it. So I always try to bring a few And I'm getting low on earrings. I know that for a fact. So we'll probably make some earrings up here. Because I leave them on the racks even when we're not doing a show. And a lot of times they will, you know, let's get these guys out too. Not that one. This one. A lot of times, even if I'm not these are fun. We'll leave a few things out here. Close up. So we brought a few things out here, and we'll see about making some items. I love these. I think these are so pretty. I actually made myself a pair of earrings with these with some bright green stones at the top. We have some other shamrocks here. And then these are the, like I said, these would make, this would make a really cute dangle on a bracelet or a anklet. Hi, Anita. So actually, I think I'd probably turn these going the other direction so that since they're two-sided, you could have a nice focal in the middle here and then have them going, the stems going in opposite directions. And this little guy would be a dangle. And I would probably put a green stone in between. Let's put you guys up here so you're not in the way so much here. So this question then becomes, are we making an anklet or are we going to make a little delicate bracelet? We could do either thing here. We can use green green glass between. Oh, these are all leaves. We don't want leaves. So I have all kinds of crystals and such. Could even use these beryl beads, which are pretty cool looking. Though if I were to use these, I'd probably want to put a spacer, like flat spacer on either side and then a smaller bead because they are flat on one side. Oh, I sort of like that idea. Okay. That might be too tiny. Then again, maybe not. Now, unless I get something else for a focal, I need to get one more of these sets out. Yes, I did. This live is at its normal time at 10 o'clock, Dorothy. My members live is been changed to 1:30 my time. And I did that because Heather comes on after me nowadays. And I didn't want to constrain her time or make the members choose which ones they want to go to, who's live. So yes, I did change my members live until a half hour later, but this live is the normal time at 10 a.m. my time, which is Mountain Standard Time, in case you didn't know that. So I think I'm just going to put one of these sets here, though I do have a nice little disco ball one. But I'm thinking we'll just put another one of these sets here. And I may take out one more set just in case we need it for length. Not sure these little daisies are going to be as big as I want, but let's see. And then we need some wire. Strange, where did I put the wire? I thought it was right here. Ah, there it is. Oh, thank you. Well, you know, like I said, Heather, you shouldn't have to get too tight just because my members live is coming on. And on the other hand, my members shouldn't have to make a choice of, well, are we going to stay here with Heather, or are we going to come over and watch Rosanna's member live? That's not fair to anybody. So, and I'm not measuring these. I'm just going to cut off a few hunks just to wire wrap those pieces up. And I'll probably just connect them with jump rings so I don't have to worry about it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got 5 here. Though I may end up wanting 6, but we'll see. Of course, that'll depend on whether I decide to go for an anklet or a bracelet. But so we're just gonna, come on, baby. Straighten these up some. This is German style wire in case anybody's interested. I tend to like to use this as much as possible when I'm doing anything that's going to do a wrap or something, because it's a medium temper as opposed to a soft. And I thought I counted 5, but there's only 4 here. Oh well, we'll get another one out in a minute. It just goes to show I can't count worth beans today. Where are you in? There we go. And we have 5. So I'm just going to sort of assembly line these little wraps. So we'll just do one section at a time and then go up, put them up, do the next, so on, so on. How's everybody doing today? I had a headache yesterday. I still have a slight one right now, but my physical therapist told me it's probably because I'm a little bit dehydrated. She said either that or caffeine, and I said, well, I don't drink very much caffeine, or even eat it, so I don't think it's a caffeine issue because my body's not used to caffeine anyway. So she said, well, then you're probably a little dehydrated. You need to drink some more water. So I've got the water right beside me here. I'll probably have to drink some in a bit. But hey, Dawn. Hey, Bonnie. So keep telling myself I need to oil this particular spring on this pair of pliers because they don't spring open as much. See there, the spring's there. It's fine. Unlike the last pair that I got rid of because the spring broke. It just needs a little oiling. But I keep telling myself to do that, and then I don't get around to it. Are you tucked down all the way? I guess so. But you're crooked. Boy, did I ever get you crooked. Straighten up. There we go. Now I debated putting some of my Irish marble in here, but it tends to be a little expensive. So I didn't want to make this really expensive. So I didn't. That one didn't, I see the tail there, it didn't tuck in as well as I thought it had. There we go. Why do you have to blow your nose as soon as you finish your makeup? That's a good question, Heather. I haven't worn makeup in years, so I couldn't tell you. But yeah, I think it has to do that with that old little creep Murphy. I need to hold with this pair of pliers because it doesn't want to open as easily. I gotta really gotta make myself. Take them and oil them. Now, see, I don't like using the flat nose very often because that happens. It decides it wants to go down the base instead of flat. There we go. Now hold with these because they don't care. It's not coming undone. It didn't want to tuck. I decided if it didn't want to tuck, it was not going to be there to tuck. And see, I let this bend to the outside a little bit, so we'll just take it and straighten her up some. So now we'll just start on these. I was going to say I didn't check these, but this is 20 gauge wire. It shouldn't be an issue, but you never can tell. Sometimes, things just want to be an issue whether you think they should be or not. So there's what they're going to look like, the little connection pieces. And then we'll just get some Tinky Tots and jump ring these all together. So because I only want like 3 wraps, since the other side's only 3, I'm going to go way to the bottom of this when I bend so I don't have as big a bend. Come here, you. I need to change my mats. I got new ones. I just haven't changed them yet. Actually, Bonnie gave me the little ones, and they actually came in a pack of 2, so the other one's around here somewhere. Though it's not in that bad a shape, though it is starting to peel a little bit. But the bigger one down below is really peeling, so I really need to change it. But now, they always ask us at this particular show that I'm going to do, that the Celtic Festival that I'm doing, if we will donate something for prizes, because it's games as well. It's Celtic games as well as the vendor show, and so I always say yes, and I usually try to give a sort of gender neutral necklace of some kind. Though I did give a stretch bracelet one year, but I try to go gender neutral because a lot of there's a lot of fellows that do that. Morning, Leanna. Oh, yeah. Oh, good, Bonnie. I'm glad that they managed to get all 3 spots. So, yeah, my mom just had to have some skin cancer taken off recently. One on her upper wrist and one on her face, which got a big blood blister, and then they had to fix that. It was sort of gnarly. But luckily, the one on her wrist wasn't very deep. My sister was sort of explaining the process of what they did to get rid of it. And I thought, God, that sounds freaking gross. So. So now when I'm making things for a lot of times I'll use green, of course, because Ireland is most known for their green, but in all actuality, their flag is green, orange, and white. So sometimes I'll mix those colors together so that you can get the full effect of what, Irish stuff is. But Scotland's is blue and white, a really pale, the sort of sky blue, which is also Celtic. And surprisingly enough, parts of Europe are also have Celtic influences. So, but these ones mainly focus on Ireland and Scotland. So I try to do those colors and such. Though Scotland also has the Scottish royal flag is a rampaging lion on a yellow and red background. So that makes for an interesting piece as well. But yeah. I remember those days. Or lemon in your hair. Lemon juice in your hair to lighten it in the sun. Not good for your hair, not good for your skin with the baby oil thing either. So, but yeah, we used to do that all the time. My mother made my little sister stop doing that because my youngest sister is a bright redhead, as in carrot red hair. And of course, she would go out and do that just because she had such white skin and she always wanted it to be darker. And never failed, she burnt. My mom would get so upset with her, and finally she said, "Don't do that anymore." I said, you don't. So, but she said, just accept the fact they're destined to have white skin, just like me, because my mom's got auburn hair. But and all of us have touches of red in our hair, but yeah, Vicky is the only one that got the bright red, carrot red hair. But oh, you did the baby. I had the lemon made my hair a weird orange color. Yeah, I bet it would. Now I had, when I was growing up, when I was a teenager, my hair was a god awful ugly dishwater blonde. And then, that nasty half brown, half blonde look, it was ugh. So I did do the lemon in my hair to lighten my hair up. But and then it's funny, as I got older, the brown went out and it got more blonde, but then it started getting red highlights. And I think every one of my sisters got red highlights in their hair. I guess that's what happens when you have a redheaded mama. So let's start getting the Tinky Tots out and start putting this together. See if we need anything more. You have the same color, no matter what you do. Yeah. Heather, honey, your hair looks red anyway. So get some. These teeny little guys, it's sort of hard to see their split, but you need the split to be upwards so when you twist, you don't just do a mangle. Come on, baby, all the way over. There we go. So this particular piece will be saved and not go with me to the show this weekend because it will be for the show the following weekend. Oop. God, that's one of the things I really hate is when my pliers slip off because, God, I hate that sound. It's almost like fingers on the chalkboard kind of thing, you know? Hear a silly story? Sure. Tell us a silly story. We always like stories. Uh-oh, I think I have one upside down here. This one, the one I just put on, is upside down. Can't be having that. We don't want a shamrock stem in the air. Oops, back here, you. There we go. Facing the opposite direction, but I was going to start facing them the opposite direction anyway, so that's fine. Oh, that's very interesting, Dawn. Hey, Kimberly.
Well, Kimberly, when we started, I just showed the hair barrettes I made yesterday that the members have already seen, but it's Saturday's video for the public. Now, we were told when we got our booth assignments for this weekend, which I knew where mine was going to be anyway, because I've had the same spot for like 10 years. And so they're really good about giving it that same spot back to me. But they told us that they bought us a satellite uplink again. So your dad wanted to name you Bunny. Well, my dad wanted to name me Anna, and my mom wanted to name me Rose. And so I became Rosanna. They compromised and just combined it. So, but even though most people call me Rose or my full name of Rosanna, my daddy always called me Annie because that's the way it was. I was Annie to him. So anyway, we're making a little. We'll see how long it ends up being. I'm fairly positive it's going to be too long to be a bracelet. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be an anklet. So since we've got two turned this way and two turned this way, we're going to put one over here, and this one is going to go over here so we can put the other one that goes this way over here. And then hopefully it won't be too long for an anklet. But we'll find out in a minute. Oop, let go. Not one of these. I'm done with these. Go away. Ooh, I got a bit of the shakes today. That doesn't happen very often anymore. After I had COVID, it happened all the time, but though she informs me we had it again, but we had a really mild case. I didn't know because I wasn't that sick, but she was a little more sick than I was, and they tested her at the hospital, and she had it. So, well, what is a good-sized anklet? I usually make them 9 inches, and then when I take them to shows, I take some extra chain just in case the customer who wants the particular item has a larger ankle. And then we will put on some extender chain. And I have had that happen before. So just like wrists, everybody has different size ankles. But 9 is about a general size for ankle. So let's see how much we've got this here. Now see, it's going to be too long even for an anklet because it is 9 inches right now and we have to put our hardware on. So because we have to put our hardware on, which of course is some jump rings and a lobster claw, and since I always use a large one, we have to get rid of at least one of our little guys here, and I may have to take off 2 of them. So anyway, we're going to take off one. Now, for a lot of things, I'd take off both so that we had a, but with something like this, if you only take off one, it doesn't really, because you've got the one on the other side, when it comes around, you still have then one of these and one of these. So we're going to take off one of these because we definitely don't need both of them, or we're going to be too long. Now, just like a bracelet, though, an anklet can measure out on your ruler at that size, but then when you put it on your sizer, it ends up not being that big because, of course, we're going to have wrap around and everything. And with an anklet and a bracelet, I usually, when I do it like this, I usually give it a teeny bow in my bead strands. Oops, make sure you're going the right way when you do your bow, babe. Okay. So, little bow. And I don't want to make a really big one because there are so many different pieces to this that it's going to bow around to a degree anyway. So, bows like this. Now we need to get some jump rings, and you being naughty, stop it. Some jump rings in our lobster claw, and then we'll put it on the sizer, see if it ended up being the right size. If it's still too big, so yours gets to be 10 or more. Now that is why I take the extender chain with me to a show. I always have folks try on things like this because let's face it, you may have a bigger or a smaller anklet or ankle, and you need a different sizing. And with something like this, if it were too big, I could easily, because I didn't hardwire my jump ringdom, I can take a piece or two out if it's too big. And then if when we take a piece out, it becomes too small, we can always put that extender chain onto the smaller size. So there are options for things like that. So I think my little bit of the shakes is because I have a slightly stiff neck. And I was joking with my therapist yesterday about I had a headache but I also had a stiff neck, and I'm like, is the stiff neck caused from the headache, or is the headache caused from the stiff neck? And she says more than likely it's the stiff neck is causing the headache, and 3/4 of the time that'll be because you are slightly dehydrated. So come on, ding, close up. So once we have this on, we'll close her up and put her on my mandrel. And see if we need to take some more out or if it's good. If it's approximately 9 inches, it's going to be good as far as I'm concerned. If it needs to be smaller, then we'll take out, stop that, probably this other shamrock on the other side. So now see, it's actually a teeny weeny bit too small. And that's some of that might be because of the way it fell down on here, because of my bows in it. See, this one's turned. Okay, which way do we need to turn you? Get you to behave. Because you're upside down, so are you. Let's flip you this way. Okay, there we go, there we go. But yeah, it's only 8 3/4, so I could put that little shamrock piece back in place if I want to, because the beads have pulled it out from some. So it's only, oh, you can't see it. It's only 9 3/4. See, 9 3/4, or no, 8 3/4. Duh, Rose. So what we're gonna do, because of that, is I am going to open this back up, and we are going to put this guy back in place, because that way it should be about right. And like I said, this is just an obvious thing showing that that you can take a piece out for, would you stop that? Sorry. You can take a piece out if you need to. Okay, I need to make sure I put this in right. Needs to go this way. If somebody has a smaller ankle. I didn't get it the right way because it's upside down. Naughty thing. Well, not necessarily, just. Well, it's going the wrong way now. So yeah, I did get it wrong. Got the dropsies too, looks like. Okay, now you need to go this way. Bing. Tell me I put it upside down again. No, I didn't. This is something else going on here. Let's see here. Okay. This way, this way, this way, this way, and this way. She's fine. Now let's see how long it is with the other shamrock back in place. And now it's 9 1/4. So this is just one of those things. It's going to be a little longer. It's going to be a little short. will just, it doesn't have to be any particular size. Now I'm going to take and put this tiny little shamrock and hook it right, where do I want to put it? I guess we'll put it right here. It's all right. Though if I had wanted to, instead of putting it on here, I could have, since these are 5 rings of green, I could have taken it and put 2, one on either side of this, stop twisting up, of this little spot right of the green right here. So we have the 2 little dangles. And if you wanted to, you could, ouch. Ugh, are you close to that one? So I'm debating moving my little tiny shamrock from here and putting it, and I'm going to putting it right here, 2 of them, since that will be the central point of our anklet unless we have to switch something out sooner or later. So, because I don't really like it there. If I were to leave it there, I'd want to put another jump ring in so it would dangle a little better. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do, come here you, we're going to take you off of here. And let's see what it would look like just right here. Do we want just 1 jump ring or do we need 2 to drop it down just a little more? I'm thinking I like that. The second one. And since this is our central point, it just makes this be more of a focal. So what I'm going to do is I'm either A, going to like so, get a bigger jump ring, or I'm going to do a little double jump. No, yeah, we could do a double, I think. Now a double might hang better actually, depending on where I hang it at. So upside down. I like it with the little tiny little shamrocks hanging there. See, I was born in Washington State, in Kelso. Well, Longview, because Kelso didn't have a hospital, but Longview has 2. Kelso has none. But yeah, I was born in Washington State. Where'd my little other shamrock go? There you are. So I think this turned out really cute. I like it. It's a little bit longer than 9 inches, but that's okay. If it needs to be shorter, like I said, you can always take a piece out, and if then it becomes too short, we can always put a little extender chain on. So I think it turned out pretty cute. I like it. The deer eat the buds off your. Yeah, they do that. They do that. I even though I live in city limits, because we always joke whenever I see a wildlife crossing sign, wildlife crossing next 5 miles or whatever, and I look at my husband and say, "Oh yeah, you mean wildlife they mean wildlife crossing the whole darn state, because we have critters in the cities." So I got something in my mouth that's irritating the crap out of me. There it is. Anyway, so there's our anklet. And I noticed that we're at almost a quarter after, so we're going to take off. Remember, members, that we have our members live today at 1:30. We switched it so that we would give Heather time for her show. And since I've already got all these lovely Celtic things out, we'll probably work on Celtic earrings for our members live this afternoon. So there's our little anklet. So first of my Celtic things done for our show. And of course, we'll be making quite a few more Celtic things before we're done. Because I need at least a couple of Celtic things of everything we make. So I am going to leave right now. My neck's a little stiff. I'm going to go get me some water and some aspirin, and we'll see you later.
Heather will be on in about, let's see, 45 minutes, Heather? Sound about right? And are you going to be on live today? I know that you were not feeling the best yesterday, so hopefully you're feeling a lot better today. And we'll see you all later. I think this turned out really cute. I like it a lot. Like I said, I think it ended up being 9 1/4 inch. Little dangles there. They look cute there. There we go. Can you see it? Problem with having. So, our little dangles. Look, oops, I'm knocking things over above me here. Don't want to do that. There's our little dangles hanging down there. I think those looked really cute. So everybody, I will see you guys all in Heather's live. I won't, of course, be doing the live, but Heather will be, and I'll be there. So we'll see you all then. And then, of course, I'll see our members at 1:30. Remember, we dropped our time down a half hour so that Heather had plenty of time so that she didn't get crowded out. So let's turn up. Whenever I say that, I think turnips. Turnips are not my favorite food, but I have eaten them. Specifically in Ireland, if you've ever had Irish stew in Ireland, it has both turnips and lamb instead of potatoes and beef. So came as a little bit of a surprise to me when I first had it. I just ordered stew, and it was a little different. Members only is at 1:30 Mountain Time, so that would be 2:30 Central, 3:30 East, and 12:30 for West. So we will see you all then. And I'm going to go. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and I'll see you on Heather's Live. Bye-bye.